Well, guys, whoever said that Yonkers Voice does not focus on the positive stuff, we sure do. Today we are at the house where champions are made. Champion Boxing Club located at 7th Division in New Rochelle. This is it. This is where you should be if you want to become a champion in boxing. Of course, you got to put a little bit of yourself, work hard, train hard. Today we have the owner, Mr. Ryan O'Leary.
That's right.
And Brian Pappas. Ryan is the owner and coach. Brian Pappas is the co-manager, coach, and pro fighter. I seen some of his fighters fighting, not live, but I saw the video clip. Larry, tell us a little bit about you, how long you've been here, the importance of boxing in your life. Tell us anything that comes to mind.
You got it. So I've had this gym about 7 years in this area. I've been a boxing coach. This is my 30th year as a boxing coach. I started boxing when I was about 11 years old, Cage Rec in White Plains, New York. I've loved boxing since I was a little kid. As soon as I was old enough, about my early 20s, I started training boxers myself, knowing that I wasn't going pro. I didn't have the chin for it. So I decided, why don't I go to the coaching side? And I started with a couple of guys, and it's progressed ever since. I was actually working on Wall Street for 15 years. And I gave all that up so I could come back to boxing. You know, I was making a ton of money, and now I make no money, but I love everything.
But you love what you do.
I love what I do. I smile every day.
And sometimes it's not all about the money, but about what you feel inside.
It's all about what's important. Helping these kids get off the streets, helping these kids have a positive place to go, where they're staying healthy, they have a good environment, they're around good people, and they walk home feeling good about themselves. That's what it's all about.
Now, how many champs came out of this door?
In this particular location, I've had more Golden Gloves champs around here than ever in the history of New Rochelle, and only second to a couple of guys in Westchester at all. Sal Corrente being from Yonkers, Charlie Caserta from White Plains, and myself. I have 23 Golden Glove champions right now in the amateurs.
Now, I hear, he's here, I don't want him out yet, Mr. Larry Barnes, a champ.
Yes. This was a world champion, a top contender forever. He's a legend in Westchester. He is one of my partners in this gym. He's one of the best trainers I have. His energy, he's so exciting. People love to come see him, and he has more clients than he knows what to do with. Come on in, Larry.
No, not yet, not
okay.
yet.
Okay.
We're going to leave the suspense. Now I got people, they want to know who Larry is. Hold on. Now let's go to Brian Pappas. Brian Pappas, you're not just the co-manager, you're not just the coach, but you are also a fighter.
Yes, that's correct.
How important has boxing been, in your life?
Oh, it's been very important. I started boxing. I was in high school going to Fordham Prep. I was wrestling. I started getting involved in boxing at that point. I kept boxing at Gettysburg College. When I graduated, I boxed at Gleason's Gym in Brooklyn, New York. And we all, we saw, or I could say all the people that I boxed with have had a positive influence on my life. It gives a lot of children, a lot of kids, a lot of adults that don't necessarily have the best background or the best upbringing, or maybe they come from a single parent household. It gives them a family. I think something that they need, and something that is a positive influence in their life. They stay in shape, and it could be any sport. It could be basketball, it could be running, it could be football. It just happens for me to be boxing. And I think that really gave myself a sense of achievement, that I was able to get a lot out of it and put a lot into it. And it teaches you to hard work, it teaches you hard work, it teaches you responsibility, it teaches you sportsmanship and respect for others.
Now, I speak with lots of people in Yonkers, and one of the things that I hear the most in regards to their kids is lack of options. We don't have places with positive things so we can show our kids, get them involved in. How important it's sport, not just boxing, but how important it is for a parent to get the kids involved in things like that. Sports that are well organized, with good coaches, places where we feel comfortable.
Yeah, it's a great question. Parents need help nowadays. Usually, when I was growing up, you had one parent home that took care of the kids. It's not like that anymore. Both parents are working, if there is both parents there. The kids need some other options. They need some direction. Kids nowadays are always on the computer. Phones, computer, video games, nonstop. This is a place where anybody can go. There's no judgment. big, small, any ethnicity, any race, anybody can do it. You don't have to be in shape. We'll work it to your level. You're at a place where somebody's giving you direction. Somebody's giving you positive advice, keeping you fit, healthy, and really bringing something where you can go home and say, wow, I did something with somebody else. How many kids can work out next to a pro world champion and go home every day, and this guy's just as humble as they are? In Yonkers, you have two great places. You have Yonkers YMCA and the Yonkers Police Athletic League. They're both city run. I just happen to be the guy in Rochelle. This is my location, but Yonkers has great options as well.
Great. Now, let's now bring over Mr. Larry Burns. Larry, come on down.
Look at this guy. How pretty.
Larry, tell us about you. Tell us about your career. And I gotta tell you this, Larry, if I did not know you and saw you on the street, I could easily say that you are a boxer or were a boxer.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
It's a good thing.
Because you're so fit and handsome.
And I'll take that. When I started boxing 41 years ago this month, my mother passed away, and I knew what I was going to do. Boxing didn't only help me, it saved my life. It kept me off the street. It made me a world champion. It made me get much exposure in this county, and I'm trying to give back now. I'm retired for 20 years. I'm giving back to all the kids in Westchester County, not just in Mount Vernon and New Rochelle, but in Westchester. You got to stay in school, you got to listen to your mother and father, and you got to get your education. That's the most important thing.
I teach martial arts for many, many years. Practiced since I was 12, 13, and just gave up a few years back. Yeah. I had schools and I taught. And I always felt that my teaching, actually I wasn't teaching, I was sharing my experience. I was giving back to the community. I was trying to guide young people to come up with the same discipline, because the foundation for success very often depends on the discipline that you had at the young age. And I think that's something in common with what you do.
That's right, I couldn't have said it better myself. Helping others achieve what you need to achieve in life is the best thing. It's more than money. It's better than money. And me and Ryan love what we do.
This is the most accomplished boxer ever to come out of Westchester County. These kids can walk off the street, no appointment necessary, and get trained by a world champ. How many places could say that? And this guy is not only just a champ, but he's a loving human being. He's very friendly, humble, and he's just one of the greatest trainers out there.
Very approachable.
Very approachable.
Because many times fame gets to people's heads and they become non-approachable.
Right.
I think one of the important things is you can mingle with champions like yourself,
yes, sir,
but you can mingle with those that want to be like yourself.
Yes, sir. And I think that's a strong point in my life, in my career, to be able to communicate with other people.
Do you have any fights coming up, Larry?
Oh no, I got fighters. I don't have no more fights coming up.
So who is your fighter that is coming up that has a good fight, in a short, coming up?
Mr. Abner, right? Bam Bam Abner.
We're going to talk to him in a bit. But right now, let's bring Carlos Vanegas. Carlos?
How we doing?
How old are you, Carlos?
I'm 23 years old.
When did you start boxing?
I started boxing at the age of 13.
13. And how has boxing benefited your life?
Well, I was a little bit of a knucklehead, didn't have any discipline. My uncle put me in the
Carlos, I gotta stop you. I heard that you were more than just a little bit of
I wasn't going the right path. Boxing, I would say, saved my life, gave me the discipline that I lacked, and only better things on after I stepped into the boxing gym. It's helped me hold down a full-time job and gave me the discipline that I lack.
If we went back a few years, would you have done anything differently? Or are you very happy with the decision that you made to become a boxer?
If I could go back, I would definitely start at an earlier age.
That's the only regret?
The only regret is starting at an earlier age. I started at 13 and never looked back.
Great, that's great. Now, Carlos, what's coming up for you next?
Well, our next fight, we're looking to go 4-0, 4 knockouts. I'm fighting in Tampa, Florida.
When is this?
November 21st.
November. Can we watch it, or do you know if they're going to?
There might be a live stream provided yet, and I'm not too sure. We're waiting on the promoter for that.
Now, if anyone wants to support your gym, Ryan, support the fighters. Is that anything that they can do? Any way they can reach you? Because I know that right now, because of the pandemic,
Yeah.
okay, your gym is kind of closed, to comply with all the rules.
Right.
And let me just make it clear that we're here today for the purpose of this interview. We are not open for business. We're not open for business. We're here because of the interview.
Well, let me clarify. We are open for business.
You are.
Yeah, they can come in, but we're following all protocol for the COVID. We're wearing masks, we're keeping a safe distance, and we're operating at 33%. So we are open. To answer your question, the way you can get in touch and help anytime that there's boxers, it's a lot of time these guys need travel expenses. They need things. We'll sell T-shirts, or we may sell tickets. Right now, we cannot sell tickets because all of the fights are behind closed doors, so there's no audience. But like a guy like Carlos right now, he's selling T-shirts, so we sell apparel of the boxers. And the way you can do that is you can go on our website, champsboxing.com, or you can go to our Facebook page, champsboxingclub.com.
Guys, give those pages a like, support your local fighters, do all that we can. Because lots of us talk about options, we talk about positive, but not many of us support those things that we ask for. So you have an opportunity. Go to the pages, buy a T-shirt,
You can get
support
one of
your local fighter. Look
Team
at that.
all in.
So now we have Harley. I don't know if Harley is family of the famous Harley Davidson. Are you?
I wish. No, I wish.
No, I was gonna try to get a discount or a special. So no luck.
No luck. I'm sorry, no.
Harley, how did you get involved in boxing? First, tell us where you from originally.
I grew up in Yonkers. I was born in Ireland, but I grew up in Yonkers.
But you grew up in Yonkers.
grew up in Yonkers.
How
Yeah.
did you get involved in boxing?
I played sports my whole life. Played basketball, football, everything. Irish football I played, and then I passed by a boxing gym when I was about 11 years old on Yonkers Avenue, actually, and told my mom I wanted to do it, so she brought me the next day, and then that was it.
And you have a fight coming up as well, don't you?
Yes, next week, next Saturday.
Next Saturday. Where?
South Carolina.
South Carolina?
Yep.
Is this a fight that you're anticipating to win? Because you look like a champion to me already.
Thank you. It is. I do plan on winning the fight. Absolutely. Yeah.
Keep us posted, okay? Keep
I will,
us posted.
for sure, yeah.
Because we need to highlight people like you, young folks and gyms and gym owners and coaches about the positive stuff that we have in our area. We need to let them know, look, you want some guidance, you want some motivation, this is it.
Yeah.
Here and other places. Anything you want to tell us about how boxing actually helped you in your life,
I would say the best thing about it is it's one-on-one, so you're held accountable. It gave me all discipline. I played team sports my whole life, but I picked this over everything else. I think for that reason, I think the one-on-one aspect of it, the discipline that it gave me, and that's really it, to be honest. Yeah, it was just the discipline and the one-on-one accountability.
Now, Coach Ryan said that he decided not to go into the pro because he didn't have the chin for it. Do you have the chin for it?
I have the chin for it.
Oh,
I
he
believe
does.
so.
He does.
So you can give and you can take.
I can give and I can take. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Great,
definitely.
great.
I prefer the pros.
You prefer the give, but you
Yes.
prefer the give, right?
The what?
The give, to give. Then
You
to
give,
take.
Oh, yeah, of
give,
course, yeah,
give
yeah.
more than you take.
Right. Yeah.
definitely.
But I prefer no headgear. I like small gloves. I like
Good
all
enough.
that. Yeah. So I like that.
Now we're going to have Abner Guadalupe.
Let me bring Larry in. That's his coach. Larry.
Larry Barnes and Abner Guadalupe. Abner is a fighter, but what makes him a special fighter is because he's from my town, from Yonkers. Abner, tell me anything about you. How did you get involved? What you looking at? Where do you see yourself a few years from now? Anything. And coach, talk about your fighter. Tell us why he's a special fighter.
Because he does what he's told, and he works, and he's on time, and he's very punctual. That's the sign of a great fighter.
Discipline, huh?
Very disciplined with a capital D.
And all uppercase letters, D-I-V, there is a discipline all the way.
All the way, from top to bottom. You know, I don't have to tell him what to do. He knows what he's got to do.
In other words, it's a motivation to future fighters and people that want to be involved in boxing. Because I always tell people, just the fact that you want to be a champion, just the fact that you want to be this or be that, does not make you be that. You have to have the discipline, the focus, the determination, the willing to work hard to become who you want to become.
That's right.
So Abner, tell us about your next fight. I know it's coming up.
Well, I'm excited. I'm ready. We'll be fighting next Saturday, September 26th. After that, whoever wants to fight, we're ready for whoever. And whatever my manager tells me, we're ready for whoever wants to fight.
And when you fighting?
We're fighting in North Carolina.
North Carolina.
Correct.
Is this what type? You know, is a title fight? What is it? Tell
It's
us.
a preliminary 8th round fight, and we're going to try to get sanctioned for a main event fight. And we're taking on all comers, any and everybody.
Okay. And if anyone wants to support our Yonkers fighter, because look, I love all the fighters, and I love, you know, sports all the way. I don't care where they come from. But hey, I'm from Yonkers. Okay, I have a special feeling for my Yonkers people. So if anyone from Yonkers wants to support you, you know, Abner, what can they do? Reach out to the gym,
Absolutely.
reach out to you personally, to the coach. What's the
They
process?
can reach out to the gym. They can reach out to Ryan O'Leary. He gave the information earlier as far as how to reach out to him through social media, through email. They can reach out to him, and then from there, we're going to continue making our town of Yonkers proud.
So now, we are live streaming these, and lots of people are already commenting and talking about it. Please keep us posted about
Absolutely.
your fights,
Absolutely.
about your progress, about boxing in general, because I think one of the things that we lack a lot in society is motivation. We need the figure to follow. We need good examples, and you guys have that. Okay, so let's make it as a mission
Absolutely.
to
Absolutely.
propagate these, to talk to the kids, tell them, look, it's important to be involved, not just in boxing, but anything that has discipline that will give you those roots for success, because there is no success without discipline.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Even if you win $1 million anywhere, unless you have discipline, that money will evaporate.
That's right.
Absolutely.
So best of luck to you.
Thank you.
We want to know your results. You have a Facebook page, Abner?
Yeah, they can follow me on Abner Guadalupe or even on Instagram, 8.G_Bam Bam.
Nice to talk to you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, Coach, in closing, make you stay.
What I want to say is we have some great kids. We never put anybody in the ring that we don't think has a fair chance to win. We're not in here to make a paycheck off of these guys. We're not trying to get a kid in there just to pad their record with some easy fights. We're going to train them properly, get them in the ring with the right guys, move them up slowly. If they ever get to a point where they're not doing well, we advise them to retire. This isn't a place where we want somebody to get hurt. I got the right guy right here, a real honest man, and a pro fighter that knows the business of boxing, and we have the same ideas. So these three guys that you met today, they're the future. These are going to be world champs or top contenders. That's guaranteed. And they're going to do it with all the marbles in their head. Thanks so much for your time.
Brian Pappas, tell us the location, the address, and the phone number, just in case somebody wants to call up and ask for, for more information.
Well, what you can do right now, the fight's going to be September 26th that we're going to have for Harley Burke and Abner Guadalupe. This is September 26th in Rock Hill, South Carolina. LaVonda Early, who is an excellent promoter, is having her Vegas promotions there, and she does shows every week or every month or every other month. She's going to be doing a lot of boxing shows down in the North Carolina, South Carolina area, which is very important because the current pandemic and the COVID-19 situation has closed boxing in a lot of states, but she has gone on and made this possible for a lot of these young boxers to go ahead and fight at this point in time. There are not a lot of opportunities in professional boxing because of the COVID-19 pandemic.
And she does it the right way. closed doors. Boxers have a great show, and they don't even recognize that the crowd's not there.
Okay, Ryan.
Yeah.
Now to conclude and to this interview, give us your address,
Got it.
location, and phone number for anyone that might want to call and ask for any information.
Okay, you can call me, Ryan O'Leary, Champs Boxing Club, 7 South Division Street, New Rochelle, New York, 10801. Phone number is 917-373-9220. Website's www.champsboxingclub.com. We have a Facebook. I think we have an Instagram. I'm not good at using that, but you can probably find it. Or just use Google if you had trouble with that.
Ryan Papas, any last words?
Yes, I'd be remiss if I didn't thank one of my attorneys that looks over the contracts. A lot of times the boxers get contracts and they get a promotional contract. I do have an attorney, Marco Fava of the Fava Law Group. He's an excellent attorney. I highly recommend him to anyone for any legal matters. Fava Law Group. Marco's great. He's been great with us. He's dealt with the New York State Athletic Commission in the past with regards to boxing. So I would definitely encourage all boxers to reach out to him, especially in New York.
Thank you both, and I
Thank
wish
you.
your fighters the best of luck, and please keep us posted on those
We will
results.
do that, and thanks so much for the interview.